I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say the comments in the last video I did, Thor: The Dark World, are probably not very positive. I'm also gonna take a guess that people are gonna say, well, what did you want? What were you actually looking for? Captain America: The Winter Soldier is what I was looking for. This is a sequel that had a previous film that was good and did a lot more with its premise than anybody would probably give him credit for. And the sequel dives even further into it. It takes the drama, it takes the characters, it takes the story, and it ups it to 10. When this film came out, nobody was expecting much. Yeah, it looked like it'd be fun. Okay, let's go in, see Captain America kind of do his thing, you know, it's not Avengers, but I'm sure it'll be good. Everyone was blown away by how much work and effort went into this one. The development, the twists and turns, the action, holy smokes, this is actually a great comic book movie. Captain America returns in modern-day Washington, D.C., where he finds he's still having trouble fitting in, but not in the ways that you'd think. It's not the tee-hee-ha-ha, what's this thing I don't recognize, it's him trying to deal with the fact that a lot of people he knew are gone. It actually opens with him visiting his old girlfriend who's mentally and physically fading away. And you know what? It's kind of a tearjerker. This is a woman who was really likable in the first film, has her own show right now, and then suddenly to see her like this, it's sad. You really friggin' feel something for this. But that's not where it stops. S.H.I.E.L.D., it looks like it's being taken over by the same people that tried to stop Captain America in the first film. Nick Fury is dead and the captain is told not to trust anybody, so he goes rogue. He gets a few people to join him, including Black Widow, and it's a chase to not only outrun S.H.I.E.L.D., but also stop that evil organization, now known famously as Hydra, while also trying to figure out the story behind their newest weapon, the Winter Soldier. I think most of the people know what the story is behind this guy, but I'm not gonna ruin it. Okay, so this is about as standard a filler in-between plot that you can get. The idea of being chased down by the people you work for is recycled. The evil organization from the first film, literally recycled. A lot of these characters you've seen before, some from their own TV show, yeah, this seems about as recycled as you can get. But again, in this movie, it's not the subject, it's the delivery. The atmosphere and the pacing is so good that whenever there's a new twist or turn, it feels like a big deal. You're surprisingly really invested in what's going on with a character that a lot of people found kind of uninteresting originally. Because it knows what to talk about to make him interesting. It talks about how he has a hard time fitting in. It talks about how he has a hard time figuring out who's on his side and who isn't. It takes the fact that he is such a Boy Scout to its advantage. Because he likes working for people and he likes doing good, the idea that he hasn't been doing good or is going to continue not to do good is something that would make him feel really bad, and you would feel the turmoil in that. He's fighting for something you know he would fight for, and hey, you would probably fight for too. There's a scene with Gary Shandling that's actually a creepy scene. Yeah, a creepy scene with Gary Shandling. Somehow this movie made that work. And when you do find out who the Winter Soldier is, it creates a lot of emotional baggage. It's interesting because you feel their connection. And that's what this movie does. It takes all this standard stuff and you feel for it. They know the right elements to focus on. They know where to put the emphasis. It's also nice to see Black Widow and Captain America working as a team. Yeah, she still hasn't gotten her own movie, and clearly she deserves it, but if we're not gonna get it anytime soon, the more we can see of her, the better. And she's great, as always. If I did have one nitpick, and it really is a nitpick, I'd say I could have used a little bit more with the Winter Soldier. Don't get me wrong, it's good, but I think because the rest of the film was so strong and I was so invested, I wanted a little bit more of a rivalry there. Now, you do care, but not as much you do a rivalry between someone like Batman and the Joker, or Superman and Lex Luthor. And I know, those are different kind of relationships, but those also made the films feel so much bigger, and I wanted this to feel as big as possible because, hey, it kinda got on the right step. This could be one of the great big grand comic book movies. But I think because the relationship can't be delved with too much because of all the other things going on, it sorta holds back a little bit from that. But again, it's a super big nitpick. Everything else in this movie is really, really solid. I'm actually amazed at how good they made this. It clearly was just supposed to be a filler film, but they did their to make it as amazing as possible. This is taking the idea of a superhero and developing him even more, even one that a lot of people didn't find that fascinating. It took something standard and it made it intriguing. That's what a good sequel is supposed to do. Good action, good story, good characters, it hits everything. Suit up, because it's one of a ride.